everyone. Welcome to the WrestleMania 41 predictions. This is Chris's Chaos, and I am your host, Chris Cortez. It's been a minute. Last time I was doing this, it was Shoots and Swerves with @BadGuyWrestling. Jonathan doing the Elimination Chamber review. Told you we'd get up on this predictions. And man, a lot has happened leading up to WrestleMania. Let's talk about it. A couple things right off the bat. We're going to get into it with the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins. We made this prediction. We had a feeling it was going to happen, and sure enough, it has. But most of all, no matter what, CM Punk is getting his main event. You know, I predicted that he was going to get that Royal Rumble win to ensure the main event. It didn't happen, but nevertheless, he's getting his main event, night one. It's going to happen. And very happy with that. Roman Reigns is pretty much making sure he gets the main event that we all know he deserves. And yet that was not the favor. The favor is that Paul Heyman is going to be walking down the aisle on the side of CM Punk. This has been quite a storyline with Roman Reigns and CM Punk. It's like they're vying for the love of Paul Heyman. Could this get any more insane? Paul Heyman, okay? Keep that in mind. Arguably one of the most genius minds of the pro wrestling industry, particularly in the 21st century, but also in the 90s, if you remember and know the history of ECW, that this guy probably still owes money to people. Going back to guys like Chris Jericho, probably owes money to Sabu and Taz. Who knows? Maybe Raven. But anywho, this is going to be a predictions of night one and night two. We're gonna try to do this as quick as possible. Really get it down. Keep it within like about 25 minutes. And after night two, it'll probably be Monday. I will do a review, hopefully with Jonathan. I'm sure he's busy. He's got a lot going on. It's Easter weekend. I mean, went to Good Friday Mass. We'll be going to Easter Mass. It's kind of an important holiday if you are into the Easter weekend. If you're down with JC, so to speak. Anywho, want to get into this real quick. Night one. And I'm looking at Bleacher Report's updated, predicted match card order. So I'll go with that. They've been updating it. Who knows? It might even change prior to night one. But let's start it off with what they're saying. They're thinking the World Heavyweight Championship match will be the very first official match of the night. Kind of find that hard to believe. Like, if I remember correctly, the World Heavyweight Championship match was night two, but it was the first match of night two, which would make sense because it's still, following a very intense night one of WrestleMania 40. But I kind of feel a little bad for the Royal Rumble winner Jey Uso. This really did kind of, now looking at things as they have materialized, it really doesn't make much sense that Jey won the Elimination Chamber. I'm sorry, the Royal Rumble. He should have won the Elimination Chamber. That would have given him a World Heavyweight Championship match, and it would have also meant that the Royal Rumble winner could still get the main event at WrestleMania night two in John Cena. It year after year, every now and then, the WWE will kind of water down this idea of Royal Rumble. Oh, gets a title shot at WrestleMania. It's supposed to be a main event spot at WrestleMania. That's really what this is supposed to be. And yet, no. So this really became just a feud match, which happened to be for the World Heavyweight Championship. And it's Jay's, for a guy who's known as main event Jey Uso, he's going to be opening the WrestleMania night one. He's going to be opening this whole thing. He's going to be opener Jey Uso. I mean, no, which I think he deserves a lot more than that. Nevertheless, I have to believe that this is going to go to Jey Uso, who's getting his redemption match from his match with Gunther at the I believe it was Saturday night's main event. And so I'm going with Jey. And then we move on to Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. El Grande Americano. I gotta say, it's a pretty interesting scene. Chad Gable, yeah. It's been a long day. Facing with that lucha libre mask, I find it hilarious, but it works. I mean, really has come into his own in the lucha libre, and the style of the luchador has Shorty G, Chad Gable, aka now El Grande Americano. Anywho, I'd have to give it to Rey Mysterio. I don't think Mysterio's going out like that. This will end the gimmick that is El Grande Americano, or El Grande Americano wins this and Chad Gable retires, the El Grande mask on a winning note. Who knows? I'm going to give it to Rey, but this could go either way. World Tag Team Championship match between the War Raiders and the New Day. Man, I just feel like it's going to go to the New Day. They're just, I guess, picking up some momentum. So I don't want to, because how many times have we seen the New Day with championships? At this point, it just doesn't. I don't know where else for them to go except for, Xavier Woods maybe winning a singles championship. But nevertheless, I see another run with the tag titles for the New Day. So there you go. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Again, another feud match. Hopefully they put on a good. I could see them put on a good match. They they know each other well. Naomi is a veteran. Cargill needs a push. Needs a match that with a skilled veteran to kind of take her to another level. That she needs it. She's been here for a year now, and we haven't really seen much in the ring, which we desperately need. So I got to give it to Cargill winning this thing, if there is any light for a real progressive career for this woman. And she's got all the potential to be an incredible wrestler. United States Championship, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I am looking forward to this match. I think they can pull it off. They're both excellent in the ring. They both have a lot of energy, intensity. And I want to give this to Jacob Fatu. I think, again, the bloodline, or at least this faction of the bloodline, needs something, to move it along, because they've been kind of dry since Roman Reigns, made his official win, and earned the I don't even know what you call it, but I know anybody that's listening has the exact pronunciation for Roman Reigns' essentially signature object. That I'm gonna get yelled at if I call it a necklace, but it's essentially something that he wears to signify himself as the tribal chief. LA Knight desperately needs to move on to the next level. I guess not desperately, but does need to move on to the next level. So what I see happening here is LA Knight dropping the title to Jacob Fatu, and then we will get a draft following WrestleMania. LA Knight goes to Raw and pursues the World Heavyweight Championship down the road. This is, again, long-term booking for LA Knight to this time next year, LA Knight needs to be deep in a feud for the World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, it's his time to have a World Heavyweight Championship, and if he's going to win a top title, it's going to be the World Heavyweight Championship. He's not getting the WWE Undisputed title anytime soon. So his next level is the World Heavyweight Championship and being on Monday Night Raw, if that's the case. Unless, of course, they switch the titles, in which case he's going after the world title. I'll put it that way. WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. At this point, I cannot go against Charlotte Flair ever. If this woman is vying for a spot on WrestleMania, or if she's vying for a women's championship, you got to give it to her. So I'm going to give it to Flair. This feud has been so cringe. The interviews, the way that they talk to each other about how Stratton was, saw Flair as a mentor and as a supporter. This has been really lame. But hopefully they put on a good match. I do believe, I have faith that they can put on. They're both excellent in the ring when they want to be, and I think they're gonna put on a good match that will, impress a lot of people. So I want to see that, but I'm giving it to Flair. And then you got your main event for WrestleMania 41 Night 1. Again, this card, it's really not that star-studded. It's not that the build has been decent for like the main events of these matches, but I'm just not right now, which is a good thing. I gotta say, I know it sounds crazy, but it's a good thing because usually expectations right now for me are low. So I'm expecting them to kind of push it, I'm hoping at least, but the last two WrestleManias, in my opinion, have been excellent. So it's going to be hard for them to follow those last two WrestleManias. Nights, WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania 40, both nights. Even WrestleMania 38 was really good. A lot of fun to watch. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. But the main event will be Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I think everybody will be looking forward to that match. That'll be the match everybody's kind of waiting on. CM Punk's going to have an excellent ring entrance. It's going to be epic. Rollins, Roman Reigns, all of them are going to have really cool entrances. I have no doubt about that. I think they're going to kill it. They're going to have it's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to keep us, entertained. And I am going with the tribal chief. I think Roman Reigns is going to make up for his loss at WrestleMania 40. He's going to get back in gear, moving, shooting for the undisputed WWE Championship down the road. This will be the beginning of that. He's going to get revenge on Rollins. He's going to essentially take down Punk for what he's been kind of doing, for the division between him and Paul Heyman. And Roman Reigns will be the winner of this match. He'll be standing tall. I'm giving it to him. Punk gets his main event, but that doesn't mean he gets to win. So I'm going to give it to Reigns. Okay? And that is night 1. Night 2. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had to count it again. The first night will be 7 matches. Night 2 will be 6 matches. Hard to believe that they've kept it so tight. I like it though. I appreciate it. This means that night 2, these matches are going to stretch. They're going to go far. And I like that. Let's start with the Women's World Championship Triple Threat. Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley. I really want to see Belair versus Ripley singles match, but you know what? I love Io Sky. You throw her in there. She's the champ. She is so amazing. Probably my favorite wrestler next to Rhea Ripley right now. She's going to, again, add so much aerial tactics and moves to this match. Belair with her strength as well as Ripley. This is going to be an excellent match. I want to see Sky just kind of retain and show both of the challengers who have kind of been throughout the storyline, kind of looking at Sky as, not a threat, not, just kind of a side character in this match, even though she's the champion. I'd like to see that. I guess I'm going to go with Bianca Belair. I think she's due for the championship win. If it was just Belair and Ripley, I would have definitely would have given it to Belair. And I still think she's going to win. She's the winner of the Royal Rumble. She's due for that championship. I think it's going to her. I'm going to give it to Belair. You got AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Man, not the greatest build, but there's been some, obvious build to it. Styles is amazing. Styles arguably the best wrestler in this whole card. Seriously. Pound for pound, he is the best. Obviously, you could throw in a Seth Rollins as the best, whatever you want, however you want to put it. But Styles is the veteran status, he's going to bring out the best in everybody. And Logan Paul can do it all. And this guy has all kinds of athletic ability and just skill, natural talent in the ring. Yes, he might have a few missteps that people obviously will find with a fine-tooth comb and put him under the microscope and criticize the hell out of this guy. I think he's great at what he can do. And Styles is going to bring out the best of him. So you're going to get a great match, I think. I think we're going to get at least a 20 to 25 minute match. I guess you could keep it at 16 to 17 minutes. Either way, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good match, I think. I think people are going to be very impressed. And I got to give it to Logan Paul. I think Styles is going to give him the nod. He's about building talent. He's built up LA Knight, and I think he's going to do it for Logan Paul. However, Paul did, I believe, retain in his match against KO and Randy Orton. Maybe he is due for a loss. Styles due for a win. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna give it to Logan Paul. I'm gonna give it to Logan Paul on this one. Maybe they'll have a rematch for the following pay-per-view in which AJ Styles will get his win back. But this is about building new talent. So I'm gonna give it to Logan Paul. Third match of night 2 will be the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Valkyria? Sorry. I'm so sorry. Again, not really that built up, but love all the wrestlers, particularly Liv Morgan and Bayley. Lyra is excellent as well. Raquel, powerhouse. It's going to be fun. I'm not invested in the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. I'm not invested in any tag team championships right now. I just haven't seen any story builds, but I have noticed that the Women's Tag Team Championship matches have been pretty good. And I think this will surprise us. I watched Liv Morgan versus Bayley. I thought they would put on a hell of a match on the Go Home Monday Night Raw. So I'm looking forward to it. I want to give it to the baby faces. I want to give it to Bayley and Lyra. I think Bayley's definitely put on a lot of work between WrestleMania 40 and WrestleMania 41. So I'll give it to Bayley and Lyra. I want to see Liv Morgan go back to a singles run. I really want to see Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss, but I guess we're not going to get that. Maybe later. Anywho, Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way for the first time ever on a WrestleMania card. You have Braun Breaker as the champion taking on Pentagon Dark. I'm never going to stop saying that. Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. Okay? This is going to be one hell of a barn burner of a match. Just a crazy match. I think that the talent in this ring is so high that they'll be able to make sure this is well followed. It'll be well told, and we'll have a lot of fun with this match. Braun Breaker, Pentagon Dark, and Finn Balor, all of them are so incredible. And I could see any one of these guys win. However, you know what I want to see Dirty Dom take it. I want to see Dirty Dom out of nowhere win this match. Okay, he is the least likely to win this. I want to see Dirty Dom take it. I don't care what anybody says. He is so entertaining when he's got the spotlight on him. People hate him. He's come a long way. If you look back to the beginning of Dominic Mysterio's career with his dad, as just kind of this mute child who, pale face, skinny, just no gimmick, just no gimmick. Just, I'm here. I'm Rey Mysterio's son. I don't know, whatever you want to do with me, to Dirty Dom, okay, who's got all kinds of character. And you could say it all you want, how this guy has got no skill, but nah, he's taking it to another level. I'm going to give it to him. I want to see people go nuts over that. Sure, any one of these guys could win. I could definitely see Pentagon win, and I would love it. I would love it if Pentagon Dark got his roses and wins this Intercontinental Championship. He's so incredible, and I love how the WWE audience has just embraced Pentagon. I'd love to see, Phoenix just, show up and with Pentagon. Man. But Pentagon Dark has always been my favorite wrestler in Lucha Underground. This goes back to 2014, 13. I remember watching, most of my time was watching it during about 2015, and that's where I was really keeping an eye out on Pentagon Dark, and I thought he had the coolest look, coolest name, coolest abilities. I loved it. He's like a little bit bigger than the average luchador. He's technical, but he can get aerial, but he's mostly just vicious. I love it. Obviously Finn Balor, what can I say? And Braun Breaker is a beast. Man, I'd love to see, for Brock Lesnar's final match, I'd love to see it against this guy, Braun Breaker. He is the guy to really, end it if it was going to end. If Brock Lesnar was going to allow someone to end his career, it would be Braun Breaker. I think that'd be the ultimate nod. But I want to give it to Dirty Dom. I want him to, sleaze his way through this match and sneak away, steal the victory, in honor of his Uncle Eddie. So there you go. Sin City Street Fight, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. Here we go. Probably the match, if this is truly the order, then this will be the match right before the main event, the main event of the whole weekend, where everyone will just probably take a break, go to the bathroom, if they're live in the in the stadium, at the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, brand new stadium, more or less. It should be a great night. This will be the first race of WrestleMania since 38, where I have not been in attendance, and I'm a little upset about that, but that's okay. I got to witness Cody Rhodes live defeat Roman Reigns and end that streak. But this will be the match for everybody to run off to get their second or third or fourth beer, their tall boy, go get a bathroom break, get some nachos, do something right before the main event. What can I say about Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest? What can we say? I got to give it to Drew McIntyre. He just still has the push. He still has the edge. He still has the eye of the masses. Whereas Damian Priest, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel bad for him because I feel like he had a good thing going. I just think they gave him the title a little too soon, and they just made him a second-hand Roman Reigns. I know Jonathan and I were talking about this, and Jonathan agreed and made the point that Damian Priest was kind of vanilla. All kinds of cool potential. He's a badass. He's got that dark, Judgment Day aura about him. I love that. But to make him the head of it, and to give him that title was, I think, a little premature. I don't think they needed to go that route just yet, if at all, quite frankly. Because he had a good position as kind of like the muscle, the hand, the big hand, the enforcer of the group. And honestly, I wanted to give the leader, I always wanted to get, obviously, as soon as you see Finn Balor, you think, okay, he's the leader. He's the, he was the leader of the Bullet Club. He's the leader of the Judgment. And in a way, he really would have been. But I would have given it to Rhea Ripley. I would see her as the leader. She kind of took that, and that's kind of cool, because she's mommy, and it's pretty dope. But yeah, they kind of messed it up. They kind of messed up the whole faction once they. That was the beginning of the end of the Judgment Day, and now look where we are. Going back to the Fatal 4-Way. If Finn wins that title, that would be a big, establishment of the Judgment Day as him as the undisputed leader. And maybe perhaps he could bring Damian Priest back into the fold after this loss. He could, look, let's, let bygones be bygones. Come back to the fold. I need you. Without you, there really isn't a lot of weight in this faction. Maybe bring back Ripley. Ripley's been getting a little heelish. So if that would make a lot of sense. Maybe, Finn be like, look, you give some props to Mysterio and say, hey, I was going to let you win this Intercontinental title, but I give you props. So, welcome back into my good graces. See what I mean? Maybe tell Liv Morgan, hey, you got to drop out. Well, maybe, maybe they're down in the dumps. Tell them to, come back. That would be really cool. I don't see WWE going this whole way. When you have deep, thoughtful ideas like this, WWE tends to go, yeah, no, this is too much. Honestly, that would make a lot of sense. I kind of hope to see that. Still going with Dirty Dom, but I'd be totally happy if Penta. So I've basically said I want to see Pentagon Dark. I want to see Finn Balor. I want to see Dominic Mysterio. The only one I haven't said is Braun Breaker, who's probably going to retain. I could see that happening. So it really could go either way. I'm going with Dirty Dom. Okay, my second pick would probably be Pentagon Dark. And the idea I had with Finn, I'd be probably very interested in seeing if Finn won. And my least obvious pick would be Breaker, who watch WWE keep the title on him. So, but going back to Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest, McIntyre is always like one step away to getting to that main event spot. If he wins this, we'll know he's still kind of up there, and he is always like just around the corner from a world title match. So I see McIntyre winning. I see him getting his redemption from last year, and I see him moving on to continue with that main event spotlight. And then you have your WWE Undisputed Championship match. Oh man, already over past 28 minutes. Whatever. It's fun. Let's get into it. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. I have to see SmackDown tonight. It's still almost getting close to 6:00 in the evening in the Eastern time of the United States. So they won't even. I don't even think they'll start SmackDown until like another 2 hours. But anywho, we've all been along for the ride for this one. This is the big one. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. I got to give it to Cody Rhodes. This is the match. This is the match for him to really establish himself as the guy. He is the, obviously him defeating Roman Reigns makes him, the undisputed champion. And we know that he's in our heart of hearts that he is the guy, but to make, as Jonathan pointed out, that definitive win against a top guy in John Cena, this will be it. Can it go either way? Can it go the other way? Absolutely. Absolutely. John Cena. It would be obviously shocking to see John Cena win that 17th title. And maybe there's he acts like he's going to retire, but obviously, maybe, who knows? Maybe someone like Punk or Roman Reigns comes in and says, hey, no, you're facing me. And that's that. Something. I don't know. It could go that way. We could be left, just like jaw dropped. Holy crap. This has gone down type of moment. Sure. But I do want to, and I do believe that Cody Rhodes deserves a WrestleMania championship defense, successful defense. I see that happening. So, going to give it to Cody Rhodes. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be up and down with our emotions. You're not going to obviously see a bunch of crazy moves, but it's going to get, you have to believe it's going to get bloody. It's going to get brutal. It's going to get emotional. Both these guys are excellent storytellers in and out of the ring. We're going to have a fun time. So that is your WrestleMania's night 1 and night 2 predictions. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. And yeah. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also, if you haven't already, go check out Royal Rumble, the Royal Rumble prediction review, as well as Elimination Chamber review with Jonathan at Bad Guy Wrestling. We really got into it with the build up to this WrestleMania in terms of storylines, and we had a lot of fun building up the Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins triple threat match, as well as the Cody Rhodes and John Cena match. Really kind of hit it on the spot with our dialogue, with our conversations. It's a lot of fun. We had a good time. Sorry if I'm coming off a little bit tired. I've been spending a lot of time with my mom who's visiting, and it's been great. We've had made a lot of good food, and so, but I had to get this one in. I have to get this predictions in prior to WrestleMania, and I know I haven't been doing a lot of videos in between, but we're getting close to the summer. We're getting close to G1. I'm going to do G1 Climax. And I know I've been missing a lot of great stuff happening in New Japan Pro Wrestling. We're going to get into that down the line. But let's focus on WrestleMania, and then I'll get into New Japan. Obviously been missing out on some cool AEW stuff. But again, can only watch so much. Got a lot going on. Studying the Deutsch. And yeah, clearly I'm still a novice or a noob at best. But it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. So make sure to hit that like or subscribe button before I go. If you didn't watch the Hall of Fame, I can't believe I'm saying this right now when I was literally thinking about doing a video just solely on this. The Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin match as the Hall of Fame moment or match. That is so cool. That is my favorite match of all time for many reasons. Maybe I'll get into it with Jonathan. I'm so glad that they highlighted that match. I'm sure they had an excellent, montage to that match. Hopefully Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin got to talk about it. And there's so much backstory to that match, the build up and the aftermath. A lot is really revolves around that match. My favorite match of all time. A lot of people will point out WrestleMania 25's Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. I definitely put this match above it. And I'm so glad it's the first match. And it'll always be the first match that they put in this Hall of Fame. Maybe next year they'll make HBK versus Undertaker as the Hall of Fame match. I could definitely see that. I wouldn't be surprised. But this is the match of matches for me and for a lot of other people. So if you haven't already seen that match, my God, go back and see WrestleMania 13, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. On that note, guys, I'll see you all on Monday following WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. It's been a blast, and I am checking out. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy the shows. Talk to you soon.